Welcome to Useless Agent, your safe space from the idiocies of identity politics from both the magazine morons and the oversensitive social justice warriors. You are all the same in the eyes of the wicked. And we see
And
you.
stay
Here we
cheesy.
go.
Welcome to Useless Agent, your safe space from the idiocies of identity politics from both the magazine morons and the oversensitive social justice warriors.
Live! Do it live! I can't write it, we'll do it live! Thing sucks! And thing sucks!
All right, one more sound. All righty, and we're up and rolling. All right, how's it going, party people, starflies, whatever you want to be called? I love you all. Today is the 1st of May. Now, I will not say anything about the 1st of May. I'm sure every goddamn newscaster has already started that shit. And honestly, there's a running gag, if you don't know what I mean. There's a running gag on Jimmy Kimmel where, also even on John Oliver, where they make fun of how every time it's a new season, even if it's a new month, people act like it's such a big deal. And it's because, in my eyes, it's because the idiot box wants to tell you that time is flying by when really it's dragging like a motherfucker. But they they have to put out a narrative. That's exactly what they do. So when they say shit like, oh, can you believe it's already May? Yeah, I can believe that. That's what comes after fucking April. But the reason why they want you to think that time is going by so fast is because time flies when you're having fun. So by saying time is flying, it gives off this fake pretense that, all is well with the world and time's just flying by. I don't know about you guys, but to me, time has been slowed the fuck down ever since 2020. And I don't know. I feel like that after the COVID and the lockdowns and all that shit, I don't think we ever recovered from that fully. When you look at the average person today as as opposed to 10 years ago, yeah, I don't think we ever recovered from certain things that happened. I mean, 9/11. After that happened, the whole narrative, the premise was to make us all feel in fear all the time. And that way we would be all hoorah USA. It's all in Operation Northwoods and explains the whole thing. It's a psyop to put more positivity in patriotism, when the truth is, all it did was make us even angrier. And you think they would have learned their lesson from Vietnam, that we didn't want this. But since Vietnam, 9/11 was put out under PNAC, Project for a New American Century. And in there it said, we need a new Pearl Harbor in order to basically bring back patriotism. Instead, it brought up a lot of scrutiny and, suspicion, because we caught on to this strange, matter of, everybody saying explosives, explosives, explosives on the day of, and then the day after, no one was allowed to use that word, and it was now collapse, collapse, collapse. So it put us in a weird sense. And I remember in 2001, after that, it made us honestly more. I think it made us more edgy, and it made us fucking, living on that kind of edge. But the truth is, there's been very few generations that have looked towards the future besides war as a reason, and I honestly would put that on Reagan. There's other presidents you could put that on, but we lost a lot when Reagan came in. And so there's always this bullshit narrative that we're supposed to follow and believe that, oh, everything is hunky dory. The movies out there are fucking top notch and CGI is at its fucking forefront. When the truth is, everything looks like shit. No one knows how to write a good movie. Music hasn't been good in fucking years. And all we keep getting is more homogenized bullshit. And I'm sorry if I sound really negative. Yeah, I mean, I just actually got ripped off on my savings. So my entire savings account was wiped out by a technical error, and they refused to give it back. So literally, I'm living on my single dollar. Yeah, I'm really fucking pissed at the amount of corporatism. How after Reagan, CEOs had never made that much money before, and then Reaganomics in itself is a fucking joke because it's literally like a giant champagne tower. When they pour the champagne down and it trickles down to each glass. That never fucking happened. The glasses on the bottom, yeah, they still dry. We never got shit. And so, again, it was always meant to put us in our place. And what was funny was that Reagan was supposed to be, originally all pro-union. He was a part of the fucking Actors Guild. He was a part of unionization. But once those dollars started getting floating in his face, oh shit. Unions are destroying the country now. No. They're hurting your wallet, and that's the only thing. You don't need to overflow your wallet. All right, fuck off. So during those years, that's what brought out the punk rock era, and I really think it was the 80s that punk really started coming out because of the fact that we were so fed up with Reagan and his bullshit. The punk rockers of yesterday, they knew what was coming. And it was the fact that, the government that we look up to threw us off board fucking 60 years ago when they switched in the first place. Reagan was originally a Democrat. He switched over just like everybody else did in the 60s. But what no one ever says is that, did you not notice that people started switching when the first black congressman fucking got elected into the Democratic Party? Then all of a sudden, all these motherfuckers went over to the Republican side. And that's what created the Democrats is the black party, and Republican is the white party. That's how that shit happened. It happened because y'all some racist motherfuckers. It didn't come out because there's some kind of misunderstanding. You literally didn't want to sit next to a black man and know that black man makes almost as much as you do. That was too much for the big wigs and fucking rich assholes of the world. So they started implementing even newer rules, newer fees, newer ways to fuck you over, to the point now where you are at a point where every cent that comes your way has already been through the system, taxed the fuck out of it, and now given to you. Now you have to go buy shit, which is also taxed. And then if you buy anything big, you're going to have to pay new taxes on that product. It never fucking ends. And when you look at where the money is going, it sure as hell ain't going to our infrastructure. It sure as hell ain't going to our water. We can't even get clean fucking water. Even before 9/11, one of the big reasons for the Twin Towers, I think, is because going down was because they were bleeding money. The building was so well made that it was sturdy as shit, but it was made before certain technologies were made. So they had to cover up the asbestos and get rid of the asbestos. That would have cost billions of dollars. Why didn't the government just foot the bill? Because before that, before like 1999, I think, or the year 2000, it used to belong to the people. You know, that's why I had the Port Authority, because the people owned those buildings. And then Larry Silverstein bought those buildings, and suddenly they go down. We get footed again for the bill, and that motherfucker made $7 billion. Whew. I am pissed off today. So, yeah, it's so fucking crazy that the amount of money this country has to put into the right places, even if we were to take a small percentage of the MIC money, any money that goes to the military industrial complex, if we even just took like 1% of that, you'd be able to pay for fucking enough goddamn shelters to have heat for at least 10 years. You know, we have lost all sense of self, and we've lost all sense of humanity. I mean, it's not all of us. I still see, you know, plenty of people doing great things. But the next thing I want to talk about is pretty fucked up too. And it's about prostitution. Now, I can't help but notice, you know, you go on these like singles chat rooms, and, you know, even if you end up liking somebody, you end up finding out, you know, they'll ask you a question like, hey, can you host or something? And then once you get that question, you know damn well they had no interest in you in the first place. This is just another John. You're just John to them, you know? And it sucks because no one should fucking have to do that just to get by, you know? Forget about me, the John. I worry about her because she shouldn't have to do that shit. But, you know, this is the world we live in. So let's move on to something a little lighter, and let's go ahead and start off with the big fat orange guy and his newest complaint of it being so brutally cold in there. Why not bring a jacket? If you're so goddamn cold in a 72-degree fucking courtroom, I'm always hot as fuck in the courtroom. I don't know what. Then again, he's old. Old people are always cold, you know. But instead of like, I don't know, wearing a sweater or something, you know, I don't think this guy has ever worn any more than 2 of the same fucking outfit. You've never seen this. Does he like swim in suits? The only other time you see him change is for golf and tennis, and he gave up on the tennis shit after that diaper picture came out. So, yeah, it's just fucking crazy that this piece of shit is complaining about the temperature. But now the judge has made the decision, which he never said he wasn't going to do it. The judge had said, when we get over closer to the time of your son's graduation, then we will focus on it. But it's only April. Now it's May. So the judge made his decision to say, yeah, you can go to your stupid thing. But if you were watching television, you wouldn't have guessed that shit by listening to this asshole.
It looks like the judge will not let me go to the graduation of my son, who's worked very, very hard.
It's always tough when you can't go to your son's graduation.
I think it's outrageous that the court can't allow him a day to go see one of the most significant events, in his son's life.
So he can't go to Barron's graduation. Seems a little severe.
He can't go to Barron Trump's high school graduation.
Donald Trump won't be able to go to Barron's high school graduation. Could you believe this, Judge?
Yeah, I can believe this, Judge, because he never said that, you lying piece of shit. And so what's really funny is that, I wonder does anyone ever think about it? Like, this son of a bitch literally made Barron's entire graduation the moment of his work, his hard work, his hard work being finally rewarded and, you know, being acknowledged for being a hard worker. No. It's about your dad. Can you fucking believe that? That, like, literally no one gives a fuck about your big day. They all just give a fuck if your dad shows up. Who does that to their own kid? He's literally upstaging his son at his own graduation, which you knew he was just bitching about because he wanted some sort of sympathy from people, which... Did anyone do any research if he went to any of the other graduations? I highly doubt it. He probably went to Ivanka. He probably went to Ivanka's. But, you know, he sent, like, Rudy Giuliani to go to Eric's graduation. Okay, boy. And then the fucking moron actually mistook Eric Trump for an actual CVS receipt. So he's taking pictures with the CVS receipt. It's got a mortar board and a cap and gown and shit. It was a great day, boy. You dumbass, that's a receipt. I could watch them. If they were their own cartoon, I would watch that shit every Saturday morning, man. That's like Recess times 2. That's like Pepper Ann times 2. Nah, not really. I mean, Pepper Ann is pretty badass. There used to be a thing called One Saturday Morning. I don't know if you guys know about it, but back in the day, that was what we looked forward to every Saturday morning, man. They had the best fucking cartoons. You had fucking Pepper Ann. You had fucking Recess. You had the Weekenders. You had that Disney Doug, which really sucked, but you know, there was really good shows, man. Biker Mice from Mars was a shit. All right, so now, I mean, that's just fucking sad, bro. You literally made the whole thing about yourself, and of course you did. You're a piece of shit. You make everything about yourself. I mean, you even made your own wife's death about yourself. You've made Melania's mother's death about yourself. You've made Melania's birthday about yourself. You've made... And then you have the balls to wish her a happy birthday while you're on camera for going into court or cheating on that very woman. That's fucking hilarious. The balls on that fucker. Do you really think Melania is looking back at the TV screen like, oh, I feel it? No, motherfucker. She's probably getting nailed by the pool boy right now. Like, seriously, the only reason why I think she is not cheating on Donald is because she just looks like a dick all the time. She's just got resting bitch face all the time. And I can totally get that. But she just looks straight up mad all the fucking time. And it goes to show that when you have everything, you made it to the top, you've done it. There ain't shit up there. And I think people are starting to realize that. There's a really good, if you're a Smallville fan, there's a really good podcast that's done by Michael Rosenbaum, and Tom Welling comes on every now and then. And he talks to celebrities, and he talks about shit like that. One guy talked about how, you know, they just tell you, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this. And then when you get up there, you realize that all that's up there is more shit. And so it's like, do you really want to continue getting more of this? Or, you know, there is no final resting place. You know, you're always going to be, you know, running around attacking other people. That's all that shit is. It's a series of ladders and throwing each other off of it to try to get up onto that platform. And it's like, even if you make to that platform, you are not going to be happy because of the shit you had to do to get up there. And I honestly think that's why they get so depressed and why they get so fucking alcoholic and addicted to so many different things. Because it gets to a point when you realize the only thing that's real to you is the drug of choice. It's the only time that you have a feeling. And that's what it seems like these people are rushing to. Like, they just want to feel. So when I was talking about a lot of people are escorts and prostitutes on the single chat rooms on Facebook, I will never judge you for having to do that. I don't judge anyone on how they make money. The world is the fucking way things are. The monetary system has fucked us to a point where I'll drink with a hitman. Like, I'll have a beer with a hitman because I don't judge you on how you make your money. Fuck it. We all got to get by somehow. And it's so goddamn impossible today that, you know what? Fuck it. And that's why you got so many of these crypto millionaires killing each other. If you just look up, like, Google crypto, millionaire dies, you'll see a shitload of different guys. And that's because when you're dealing with fake money that doesn't exist, you are going to piss off a lot of people. So I don't understand why anybody would want to go into that shit, make $1 million just to end up, screwing over like the one guy you shouldn't have fucked with, and he's going to end you because you cost him $20,000 or some shit. They think that it's like fucking, consequenceless action. No action is exempt from that rule. There's no exception to that fucking rule. Everybody plays the fool. All right. All right. So moving on, the new Joker movie is coming out, Follie A Deux. And I noticed most people don't even know what that is. Some people think it's a dance or something, or some sort of play. I mean, a Follie A Deux is basically like a mental disease, and it is pretty fucking crazy. What happens is basically you're just you can be a normal, everyday guy, and when you meet a certain person, you guys go insane. There are different aspects of this and cases of this. In one case, a woman, there were two blonde women that met up, I think, in like Sweden. One was American, the other one I think was British. When they were separated for a long time, so they decided to meet up together. And when they got to talking and hanging out and shit, there's footage of it. One of them they're literally, both of them just started running into the highway trying to get hit by a car. And so there just happened to be a kind of like a cops show that was driving around and happened to see the accident. And so they started filming it. And they're holding down this lady, not holding her down, but they're asking her if she's all right. And the other one just bolts back into the traffic, getting run over by a fucking truck. And so I think she like broke her legs. And then the other one gets hit by a car. I mean, it's just insane. And so it turned out that they had the actual disease of what's called Follie A Deux. So when they got together, it's like their energy matches up and turns into psychosis. And when they were in the hospital, I think one died and the other one was in the hospital, one ended up in the hospital and the other one went back to the US. One lived in the US, that's right. And the other one was living in the UK. So the one moved right back to the US like nothing fucking happened. And the other one ended up like paralyzed because they threw themselves in front of trucks. And that's a true fucking story. You can look it up, Google it, YouTube it. It's a fucking crazy story. And it turns out that is true Follie A Deux. Now, when it comes down to this movie, I am not necessarily that excited about it because I really thought this was such a great standalone Joker film. Now we're going to move on to the actual movie, Follie A Deux. And yeah, it just seems like, you know, it seems like he, I don't know. It just seems unnecessary. I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but I honestly feel like a sequel to Joker is unnecessary because this was a whole different take on Joker, and you know, it was almost like a Frank Miller comic instead of a regular DC comic, and Joaquin just puts on just the performance of a lifetime, but I don't see this really working on screen with a second person because he was so good on his own, and there's always going to be that that cheesy scene with them dancing in the dancing in the spotlight. I mean, shit, Suicide Squad even did that. And, I get it. It was a prominent thing in the cartoons, but it just doesn't work on screen. And, as much as I love Harlequin, I can't stand what they've done there ever since, they brought her back for Arkham Asylum for the video game. It seems like they just went on this totally different character sequence where it was no longer identifiable with the Harley Quinn that I knew, and was now, I don't know, it was morphed into something completely different. So yeah, let's check out the trailer here. Yeah, obviously these are there.
We use music to make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves.
I'm nobody. I haven't done anything with my life like you have. Let's get out of here.
This is what I'm talking about. Like this.
What the world needs now is a love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Tell us, what's changed, Arthur?
I'll tell you what's changed. I'm not alone anymore. That's what we should be talking about.
I want to see the real you.
I'll give him credit. That is a badass shot right there. That is a really great shot. All right, so this is the newest preview I've seen for it, and yeah, I still feel exactly the same. Like, why? I like the idea of the loner Joker and the I can't stand Lady Gaga. It's going to be hard for me to get past that because to me, she represents, cheese, corporatism, fake art, you know, hey, I'm gonna be this big, you know, I don't know, want to be Madonna, but like for drag queens. And then I want to be taken as a serious actor, and I wanted. It's like too much. Too. Who gives a shit? Honestly, after a while, it's like, do I really have to see you everywhere I go? Like, I mean, at least Taylor Swift keeps to her spots, man. You know, she knows not to show up in a fucking Boyka movie or, you know, like just show up in something that, you know, is not meant for pop fans, not meant for 12-year-old kids. And there's just something about her that is very unbelievable. And I really mean that in the worst sense possible. Unbelievable. I don't believe you. I don't believe who you're pretending to be. I don't believe it, you know? And with Joaquin Phoenix, I believe you are Joker. I believe you are mentally insane and can pull this shit off, you know. And it takes that kind of darkness and scary person. Maybe I'm wrong, you know. Maybe she really is like that, and it's just, you know, what the idiot box has shown to me. But yeah, well, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for it or kind of meh? I'm rooting for it, but I don't have much expectation, and I definitely won't be going to the theater to see it, unless I hear it's like the greatest thing ever. Um, so yeah, I mean, shit. Honestly, maybe it's also the fatigue um, of superhero movies and comic book movies. There are so many other great you know, graphic novels that you could be choosing. Uh, Rather than just giving us the same old, I would really like to see a straight up real version of TMNT, The Last Ronin. Now that story is dark. It's really fucking crazy. And the film adaptation for it is going to be another like PG rated bullshit, almost family friendly. And it's like, dude, this is a very dark story about the turtles dying, and only one is left, and it's Mikey. And Mikey has to basically become all of the turtles and Splinter. He has to take all the knowledge that he's gotten, and he manages to maintain one item from each turtle that they left behind in battle, where Splinter and Leonardo or Donatello get set up, and they are just fucking porcupine to death with arrows. And it is such a heartbreaking fucking thing to read. I highly recommend you check out The Last Ronin. You know, and again, it shows you that dark, you know, material and dark graphic novels will pull out some of the best fucking movies. Frank Miller shows us that all the time, whether it be shit like Fury Road to, you know, God knows what, every Sin City. You know, the guy is just fucking untouchable. So yeah, I am definitely looking forward to Furiosa and finding out about that storyline. I really love what they're doing. The idea of having chariots, but they're motorcycles on chains, that's pretty fucking badass, you know? So I expect that is a movie I'm going to see in theaters. I want to see it in IMAX. I want the full fucking thing because you know, we need more shit like that that grabs you and pulls you into that fucking movie, you know. And for God's sakes, there needs to be somebody that makes a comedy. We haven't had a comedy in years because nobody has the balls to go for it to make someone laugh. Personally, I don't fucking give a shit. That's why I talk the way I talk, you know. And obviously, it's fucking pretty fucking reasonable. So let's see what happens. But fuck yeah, man. V8 fucking forever. So, yeah, that's the end of me. I'm going to be taking off. Tomorrow, I don't know what we'll be covering, but yeah, definitely won't be Follie A Deux. The episode we did yesterday with Anne Heche apparently did not get up. It didn't upload, so I'll have to send that back out. But that, if you didn't see that one, there's some really good footage of her coming out of the zipper, not a sheet. And so, yeah, I'll put that back up, but it's always up on here. All right, love you guys. Stay safe, stay free, stay yourselves, stay away from pork. And other than that, stay cheesy, my friends. I'm going to give you guys something a little different this time. Later days.
Now, who high, who not? Who gave did it top? Who walk for cheesecake? Who got Biggie shot? Make you top of do cock? Who did it got blocked? Who pants be mostly pulled onto the socks? Not Lil Kim, Mace. That puff dressed me up like a gift. Had to walk the cheesecake, so I gotta learn. Hard to be a bad boy when he call you Buttercup. Try to get a man a hug, he wanna cuddle up. Still trying to figure out why we call you Pup. You ever seen a grown man playing double dutch? Wow. I'm the B to the A to the DDY. What you think I'm gonna do with that cheesecake pie? I call all the shots. Biggie Smalls and Pox got poked by the locks. That's how I lost a rock. Kid cut his car, got blown in a parking spot. Think you back at Cassie, not on my watch. 10 years from now, I'll be sitting in a box. Yo, but even then, I still won't stop. Yeah.